Waiting on some beautiful boy to save you from your whole.
Life's erotic, ain't it? Trying to be Dali when I write surreal life, I paint it vivid.
I've been chilling in my car, waiting for the sun to come out little by little. Alright. They closed that parking over there, so we had to park on this side. This is the current setup. Got the helmet strapped to the hip pack, a hoodie and a beanie. I think I'm allergic to the cold. All right, we made our way out to the luge with the hardtail. It just rained yesterday morning, and the luge is probably one of my favorite places to come after it rains. It just drains very well, and the dirt is like meant to get wet. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, when I go to Laguna Beach area, I notice the dirt is very clay-like, and it gets gunked up in your shoes and your tires. Versus here, the dirt is more sandy, and when you mix that with water, it's like this perfect combo to where you get hero dirt. Because I remember when Reaper and I went to Laguna Beach to remove that log that was on Telonics, that mud going up the trail was just insanely sticky, and it's just a pain to get out of your shoes and your tires. So this is a go-to place in SoCal after it rains. I worked on the hardtail this week. The thing I'm most psyched about are the pedals. I added longer pins on one side, and I could already tell they are much more grippy just by climbing up here. And then the last thing I did was bleed the rear brake. It was getting a little spongy on me, but now it feels amazing. I am most stoked about the pedals. Believe it or not, back in my BMX days, and even till now that I'm riding mountain bikes, I am extremely picky when it comes to pedals, and they have to feel just right for me to really enjoy my rides. I do have preferences on other things, but I think the biggest thing I like to have feeling good are my pedals. And the hardtail, it was kind of iffy, you know, like the pedals felt good, but I just don't think the pins were long enough. And now that I fixed that problem, I'm sure this thing's gonna feel dialed. Fork is unlocked. So freaking good. Everything just is so grippy. The new pedals, the dirt. No time to dilly or dally. Whoa, cactus. Whew. Once you're locked in with these pedals, you're locked in. It's kind of crazy. Ooh. Whew. Man, it was throwing me off because my left side of the pedal, I didn't have the longer pins, and it was like night and day. This foot was slipping, but my right one was solid, so that was kind of messing with me. Yeah. Last little bit.
Alright, go ahead, man.
Sweet, thank you, man. Man, these guys are getting down. Bump jump. I am so happy I added those pins to the pedals. I feel like it was night and day. There was a part in the video where one foot, my left foot, was on the shorter pins and then my right foot was on the longer pins, and it was just messing with me because my right foot was just glued in and then the left foot was kind of feathering the pedal, and I had to stop and I had to fix it because it was throwing me off. But yeah, I'm very picky when it comes to pedals. My shoes, I'm always gonna be riding in Vans Skate Highs with the waffle grip. That's like my go-to shoe. It feels right, and it, you know, it's just what I've always known. So having that shoe with, you know, the T-Mac pedals or similar T-Mac pedals is a beautiful combo for me. It's like my go-to from what I've been noticing. For me personally, I've never been a big fan of clips. They just scare me. That's the biggest reason why I haven't been a big fan of them. It's just being like clipped in, and then if I fall or crash, it's like my foot's stuck. I've heard you could take off your foot fast enough, but I've seen a few videos where the crash is just so instant, you know, and you don't even have time to think to unclip your foot. But I do think a clipless setup would be like ideal if you want to go faster or you're racing. You're just locked in, you know, literally. But for me, I don't really care about my speed or my time, so having flat pedals and the Vans is good enough, and it gives me peace of mind, you know, whenever I'm riding down a trail and if I need a bail, I'll be good. And I also like to ride street, you know, I like to pedal around the city or hit spots, so having that flat pedal kind of gives me that BMX feel as well. On another note, I am headed to El Salvador this Sunday, which is in 3 days, and I'll be out there for 2 weeks with my dad. We're just visiting my grandpa and hanging out with family, but I do plan to get a ride in out there. I've been messaging my cousins and trying to see if there's a bike shop or somewhere I can rent a bike. 2 weeks is a long time, so hopefully I can get 1 or 2 rides in throughout my time out there. That wraps up this adventure, and I'll catch you guys on the next ride.